Hi guys, today our goal is to learn how to write the domain and range of a function three different ways: in interval notation, inequality notation, and set notation. Okay? Basically, an interval is just a part of a function's domain, okay, between two numbers or between one number and then just going on infinitely. Okay? So we're going to look at a few different ways to write these descriptions of a domain. Okay? The first one is all real numbers from number A to number B, including number A and including number B. Okay? Because it has a definite starting and ending point, that's a finite type of interval. It doesn't go on forever. It starts somewhere and it ends somewhere. Okay? So this would be, its starting point would be the number A, its ending point would be the number B. All the numbers in between A and B are X, and since it's including both of them, it's the less than or equal to symbol. If it wasn't including both of those numbers, it would just be the less than symbol. That's your inequality notation. Set notation is similar to inequality, but just a slight bit different. Okay? So you use these curly parentheses called braces, and this is the set of all x numbers such that, that line means such that, and then you just recopy the inequality. And then you close the brace. So we say the set of all x such that x is between A and B inclusive. It's including number A and B, whatever they are. The last way would be with interval notation. Interval notation, you use either brackets or parentheses. Since both numbers are included, we use brackets. If numbers are not included or you're using the infinity symbol, then you would use the parentheses. So this just says all numbers starting with A, ending with B, and everything in between them is part of the interval. So this is your interval notation, your set notation, your inequality notation for a finite interval. Okay? A could be 7, B could be 12, it could be any numbers. The next one is all real numbers greater than A. So it's got a starting point, A, but it's everything that's greater than A, so it just keeps going forever. So this one is an infinite interval. So everything greater than A in an inequality would just be all numbers x that are greater than A. Whatever that number A is, everything that's bigger than that is this domain. So that's an infinite interval. In set notation, again we use the brace, all x such that x is greater than A. Didn't say greater than or equal to, that's why we don't have the line underneath. And then for our interval notation, it goes from A to infinity. Everything that's bigger than A is in this interval. So it goes from A, and then it just never stops. It just infinitely keeps going. And anytime you use infinity, it's a parenthesis. And since A is not included, that's also a parenthesis. So interval, set, and inequality. Okay, the last example is all real numbers that are less than or equal to A. So this time A will be included because it's less than or equal to, and it's also everything smaller than A, not bigger than A. So this time it would be x is less than or equal to A. Okay, all numbers, x is all the numbers that are less than or equal to A. For the set notation, all we're going to do is add the brace, all x such that, and then you rewrite your inequality. So all x such that x is less than or equal to A. Set notation always has these curly parentheses, which are called braces. Interval notation is the one that has either the square bracket or the round parenthesis. Okay? Now, since it's numbers that are less than A is going to be on the right. You always go from smallest to biggest, left to right. Smallest comes first, then the biggest. So it's everything smaller than A up to and including A. So this time, the numbers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, infinitely smaller. So it goes from the negative infinity side, okay, negative, just keeps going in the negative direction, up to whatever number A is. And since it's less than or equal to, we include the A with a bracket, but again, because it's infinity, we use the parentheses. So here's 3 general examples. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and take a look at these examples down here with verbal descriptions and see if you can write the different notations for that. Okay, let's see how you did. This says x is between -4 and 6, inclusive. Inclusive means it's going to include both the -4 and the 6. So here's my -4, here's my 6, x is between them. So I'm just going to do exactly what it says, x is in between them. And since it's including both of them, they're both going to have less than or equal to symbol. With all of these ways to write it, you always have the smaller number on the left, the bigger number on the right, and then you would always use the less than symbols. You wouldn't flip these around. They always need to be going in the same direction, and it should be less than. Okay? Set notation would be the same thing, except we would just have our brace, all x such that, and then we recopy that inequality notation. And then interval notation, it goes from -4 to 6, and inclusive for both of them, so they both get brackets. Next one, x is greater than or equal to 3. X is greater than or equal to 3. Set notation, all x such that x is greater than or equal to 3. In interval notation, everything is bigger than 3, so 3 is the smallest, it comes first. Whenever it's greater than, it's going to be infinity. If it's less than, it would be negative infinity. Greater than or equal to means we're including the 3, but never the infinity. Next one, x is between -7 and 3, so here's -7. There's 3, x in the middle. Include 7, include -7, that should say, not including 3. So we're not including that one, so it's just a less than, but we're including the -7, so it's less than or equal to. Set notation, all x such that, and we're going to recopy the inequality notation. And then the last one, interval notation, starts at -7, ends at 3. It's including the -7, which is a bracket. It's not including the 3, so that gets the parenthesis. Next one, x is less than -2. I'm going to write exactly what it says. X is less than -2. Model x such that x is less than -2. And here, since x is less than -2, when it's less than, it's negative infinity first, then -2. Always a parenthesis on the infinity. It doesn't say less than or equal to, so that's also a parenthesis there. This last one, x is any real number. There's no restrictions at all. So you could write x is between negative infinity and positive infinity. No restrictions at all. Same thing here, all x such that x is between negative and positive infinity. And then the last one, which is the way you're probably familiar with, like that. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to have you pause the video again, check your understanding, When do you use parentheses? When do you use brackets? And what do you use when there's infinity in your notation? Take a minute and fill those in. Okay, we know when to use parentheses when the number is not included. And we know to use brackets when the number is included. And we know to use what when there's infinity? We use parentheses. Finally, fun fact. Another way that you can write this all real numbers, set of all real numbers, is this kind of funny looking R. That's the symbol for all real numbers. Thank you.